In this movie, I want to complete the implementation of the Ammo Manager class. We've gone ahead and created this spawn ammo function here, which is part of the Ammo Manager object. It's a static function, which means that practically any kind of code outside of this object can call upon it to generate ammo in the scene. So now let's go ahead and implement it. Now the very first thing we want to do whenever we need to spawn an ammo object is to take the item, the ammo object that's at the front of the queue, and we're effectively going to make that object visible. So to do that, I'm going to insert a new line here. I'm going to grab a local variable to the spawned ammo object. So I'm going to name this spawned ammo, and it's going to equal the Ammo Manager singleton object dot the ammo queue here, which is the name of the ammo queue, and then use the function dequeue. Now what this does is it takes the object that is at the front of the queue, the ammo object that is, and it removes it from the queue, and a reference to the object is stored inside spawned ammo. So at this line, although we have a reference to spawned ammo, it is no longer in the queue at all. Once we've got the reference to the spawned ammo object, I want to grab the game object itself and choose set active to true. That is to enable the object and make it visible, to make it look as though the ammo has been generated. The next thing I'm going to do is insert another line here, which is going to be spawned ammo dot position, and the position is going to be set to the argument here, which is the spawned ammo position. So that is the object, or rather the position at which we should move the ammo in the scene, and typically that will be to the end of a gun turret. Next, we're going to set the rotation for that object here. So again, this is going to be specified by the second quaternion parameter here. And then finally, once we've enabled the object, set its position and rotation, we want to put it back to the end of the queue. So to do that, I'm going to grab the Ammo Manager singleton here, choose ammo queue, and then choose enqueue, not equals. It's going to be enqueue, which we've seen before, to add the ammo object back to the end of the queue so that it can be recycled later. And then finally, I'm just going to return a reference to the spawned ammo transform in case any other function needs access to the ammo object that has been generated here. So here we've got a reference to the spawn ammo function, and this is now completed. So I'm going to save this code here, minimize monodevelop, and let the code compile here, and everything is looking good. Now, of course, we've completed the Ammo Manager class, but when we go ahead and look at this gun turret in the scene, you can see that we have the turret object itself inside the hierarchy panel, and then underneath it we have the ammo spawn point. This is the object that generates ammo. We have created a script file that we've seen in a previous movie called the ammo generator script file, which right now will instantiate ammo objects based on the prefab here, but I don't actually want to do that anymore. So I'm going to double click on the ammo generator script to open that inside monodevelop, and you can see the source code that we have for this. Now, because we're going to be using the Ammo Manager class, you can see here under Fire 1, if we check when we're pressing the mouse button Fire 1, we're using the instantiate function to generate and dynamically generate an ammo prefab. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm just going to completely comment out that line. And in fact, we no longer need a reference to the ammo prefab itself either. So I'm going to remove that as well. Instead, I want to call upon the Ammo Manager to hide and show the ammo when we need it. So I'm going to choose Ammo Manager here, dot spawn ammo, and the two arguments we need are the position of the ammo and its rotation. So I can simply take these values from this function here and just paste those into the object here and press Ctrl S on the keyboard to save that code. So now by using this, by going through the Ammo Manager, instead of the update function or instead of the instantiate function, we can generate ammo into the scene at the specified position and rotation. So I'm going to minimize monodevelop and go back to Unity. This will compile my code, and I'm going to press play. Now notice when I do that, again we get our generated batch of ammo, but watch what happens to this list when I press fire on the mouse here. So I'm going to choose fire. You can see these are now shown, and gradually, one by one, they disappear. Now when I press fire a second time, you will see that the generation picks up from this ammo object, because currently this one will be at the front of the queue here. So you can see we're now generating ammo into the scene. Now I'm going to scroll down, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to press fire quite a few times here, so that I'm going to be generating hundreds and hundreds of these objects into the scene. And eventually, at some point, this list will catch up and we'll reach to the end of the list. So you can see here, the ammo is being activated. We're reaching the end of the list. And when we reach the last one, as we've done here, the code will cycle back to the top object again, because this will be at the front of the queue this time here. So you can see we're just going on an endless loop through these different ammo clones, and it creates the appearance of an infinite supply of ammo being dynamically generated in the scene, when of course these are all created at the beginning. This is one way to optimize the performance of ammo generation in your scenes. So that really completes this part of the course. I hope you found it helpful. This has been 3dmotive.com. I've been Alan Thorne. I can't wait to get started on the next part.